Okay, good evening. Tonight's Committee of Adjustment hearing is being held by video conference and live stream video on the Town of Oakville's live stream webpage at oakville.ca. This is a hearing to consider applications for minor variance and consents held under the authority of the Planning Act. Please keep in mind the intent of the process is to review the application that is before the committee, listen to the evidence, and then make a decision. This process is not intended to be used to resolve any concerns or disputes that may exist between the town, individuals, or organizations. If a request for a deferral is made and the committee grants such a request, the applicant, authorized agent, must contact the Secretary Treasurer to schedule a new hearing date. In order to conduct an effective and efficient hearing, we have adopted the following process. If you're watching the live stream of this hearing on oakville.ca and you wish to speak to an item on the agenda, you may call 905-815-6095. Again, the number is 905-815-6095. Staff will be standing by to provide you with further instructions to join the video conference. When the chair of the committee polls for interested parties, you'll be asked to press *6 to unmute yourself. The applicant or agent will then be given the opportunity to briefly explain to the committee the basis of their application and answer any questions that may arise. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided for each presentation. You'll need to state your full name and address for the record. Any submissions beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. All delegations must also state their full name and address for the record. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided for each presentation. All remarks and questions are to be directed to the chair, and any submissions beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. The applicant agent will then be provided with a further 5 minutes to respond to the comments made by interested parties and answer any questions from the committee members. If the applicant or agent has concerns found in staff report, particularly with any proposed conditions, this will be the opportunity to advise us. The matter will then be taken into committee for a decision, and this will mark the end of all discussions. Any person desiring a notice of the decision for an application must provide a written request, preferably through email, to the Secretary Treasurer. Written notice of the committee's decision will be mailed no later than 10 days for minor variance and 15 days for consent. The applicant, agent, and any other person who has filed a written request for such notice. The last day to appeal the decision to Ontario Land Tribunal will be noted on the decision. Only the applicant, specified persons, or public bodies may appeal the committee's decision to the Ontario Land Tribunal. In November of 2022, Bill 23 legislation, the More Homes Built Faster Act, amended the Planning Act to remove appeal rights for members of the public. If no appeal is received within the prescribed time frame, the decision of the committee becomes final and binding. And the Secretary Treasurer will then notify the applicant and anyone who has received a copy of the decision through written correspondence. People participating in this hearing are to be courteous to and respectful to the members of the committee, town staff, and any other person participating in this electronic hearing. Tonight's electronic hearing is being video recorded and available for future viewing at oakville.ca. And the phone number to call, once again, with interest for any application is 905-815-6095. We have no regrets this evening. Declarations of any peculiar interests? I see none. Thank you. Madam Secretary Treasurer, I'll now take requests for deferral or withdrawal of applications. Anyone who is in the audience who is seeking to defer an application, please raise your hand and the Secretary Treasurer will invite you in to speak.
Madam Chair, I have a few hands up. I will move Michael Barton in first. One moment, please.
Sure.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. Go ahead.
Yes, it's Michael Barton. I'm here for 248 Maurice Drive. I've received the comments from staff and I've been in touch with staff, and we think we can resolve their concerns. We'll probably be removing two of the variances and addressing some of their concerns. So we're requesting deferral so that I can have that conversation and make some modifications to the application and bring it back to the committee.
Very well. At CAV That's application 125 of 2025 at 248 Morris Drive, right?
Correct. Thank you.
Okay. Members, all those in support of a deferral? Okay, your deferral has been granted. You'll see the Secretary Treasurer at your earliest convenience.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. I kindly ask that everyone who is on the call or this electronic hearing to put themselves on mute unless they are speaking, simply to avoid any echoes in the background. Madam Secretary Treasurer, you're asking the next person?
Yes, Madam Chair, I will move Gerardo Castillo into the meeting. One moment.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm the agent. My name is Gerardo Castillo from Keystone Home Designs. I am the agent for the homeowner at 517 Sandomir Place. We received some comments from staff from planning, and after reviewing them with the homeowner, we decided we're going to make some adjustments to the floor plans to reduce one of the variances. So we're reworking with the design that we will probably resubmit in the next few days with the staff. We'll discuss with the staff, and therefore we'd like to defer the application so that we can resubmit once we have the final design set.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Application 124 of 2025 at 517 Sandmere Place. Everyone in support of a deferral? Okay, our application has been deferred. You'll see the Secretary Treasurer at your earliest convenience.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Okay, Madam Chair, I have Curtis Van Kulen. I'll move him in. One moment.
Good evening, Madam Chair, as member of the committee. My name is Curtis Van Kulen. I actually have two files to ask for deferral on this evening.
Very well. Go ahead, Mr. Van Kulen.
So I'm here in front of you to represent CAV A120 and A122. A120 is for 579 Stonecliff Road, and A122 is for 2087 Wakely Street. On both files, we are requesting a deferral to work with town staff in order to achieve concessions on the plans and come back with a more revised design in keeping with town standards.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Van Kulen. I'm going to move one at a time.
Yes.
Application 120 of 2025 at 579 Stonecliff Road. All those in support of a deferral? Okay, the application has been deferred. And then application 122 of 2025 at 2087 Wakely Street. All those in support of a deferral? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Both applications have been deferred. You'll see the Secretary Treasurer at your earliest convenience.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, anyone else, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
No, Madam Chair, there are no more hands up.
Okay. Okay, we'll take the first application before us today is application 119 at 1315 Kensington Park Road. Again, that's application 119 of 2025 at 1315 Kensington Park Road.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead, Mr. Yu.
Hi, good afternoon, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and committee of committee members. My name is the Yu Hei. I am the applicant. Also, I am the house owner. Our project is just really minor variance. We just want to do the addition in the front. We request the 2.2 meters addition in the front. This is the almost the same distance with my neighbor 1321 Kensington Park. So I think this is we thought this is really a minor variance, and we want to because the addition we want to do because our foyer is too small, and then we need to more rooms for our future use. So we would like to ask to committee to approve. It's the second variance is the walkway. The walkway is 2.2 meters. It is like it is like a two. It is the width of the walkway just existing. We did not change anything. We just want to keep the existing for the walkways. Yes. Sorry. Before the addition is 2.41 meters for the front addition for the in front of the house. Yes, that's our purpose of this application. So I think that's the our request, and please help us to get approval. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yi. Any questions of the applicant at this time? Has anyone called with interest for this application, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
No, Madam Chair, there have been no calls and no one has their hand up in the audience.
Okay, very well. If there are no questions of the applicants, we'll take the matter into committee. Who would like to move a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Hardcastle. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Having undertaken my site visit, having reviewed the materials, including the written staff report, having heard the presentation of the homeowner, I am satisfied that the requested variances conform to the four tests of the Act, and I'll put forward a motion of approval. Subject two conditions, those being that the additions be constructed in general accordance with the submitted site plan, along with the north, south, and west elevation drawings dated May 25th, 2025, and that the east elevation drawing dated May 20th, 2025, and that the approval will expire within 2 years of the date of the decision if a building permit has not been issued.
Thank you very much. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? I see none. All those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. He. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay, application 123 of 2025 at 249 Cherry Hill Road. Again, that's application 123 of 2025 at 249 Cherry Hill Road.
Yes, Joe Dome, 133 Torresdale Avenue, agent for the owner.
Good evening, Mr. Dome. Go ahead.
Good evening. To begin, I'll note that we have gone through the pre-consultation process with staff and have made revisions according to the recommendations. They have no concerns with the application as per the staff report. 3 variances are requested with this application. Variances 2 and 3 refer to the lot coverage of 36.4% and an RFA of 44.5%. The proposed dwelling was designed with a number of massing mitigation features to minimize impact, as can be seen on the site plan and elevation drawings. The footprint of the dwelling breaks up massing to the streetscape and both side yards. I'll note that the proposed lot coverage includes the front and rear covered porches, which have minimal massing impact. The dwelling complies with the bylaw for all setbacks and height and includes varying roof lines and step backs to the second story, such as on the east side, where after the garage, the side main wall is stepped into a 4.65 meter setback. And in fact, the entire second floor on the east side is stepped back to 4.65 meters from the side lot line. The second story at the front is also stepped back over the garage, and there is a significant second story step back at the side of the dwelling on the west side toward the rear. And these features allow for reduced impact and a sensitive transition between dwellings. And variance number 1 pertains to the proposed garage area of 54 square meters. The additional portion of the garage space is designed to not be visible from the streetscape. It's 1 story in nature with no second story above and doesn't have impact on massing. So overall, we feel the application is reasonable and minor in nature, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Dome. Any questions of the applicant at this time? I see none. Has anyone called with interest for this application, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
No, Madam Chair, there have been no calls and no hands up.
Very well. Who would like to move a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Talowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'll move that this application be approved as applied for, finding that it meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act. I believe this design is compatible with the neighborhood, and the design of the house itself is mitigating any potential impact of the variances. I would make that approval subject to the dwelling being constructed in general accordance with the submitted site plan dated August 5th, 2025, and elevation drawings dated July 8th, 2025, and that the approval expires within 2 years if a building permit has not issued. And I'll also note that there was no objection from the community.
Thank you, Mr. Pulaski. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Okay, I see none. All those in support. The application has been approved, none opposed. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Application 126 of 2025 at 2200 Sawgrass Drive. Again, that application 126 of 2025 of 2025 at 2200 Sawgrass Drive. Okay, I have several requests for attendees, and I have 3 letters of objection on hand. Go ahead, Ms. Snow.
Sound, that's good. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to my application. I am Michelle Knoll. I'm the Executive Director of Oak Park Neighborhood Center, which is a registered charity, and I'm representing the charity today. Second slide. So as I said, we're a community-based charitable nonprofit organization. We've been serving Oakville since 1999. Programs for all ages, providing mainly food security, financial empowerment, family supports, and poverty supports, focused on inclusion, support, and connection. Next slide. So our proposed expansion is for 24.5 square meters. 3 small rooms, a financial support office, which is, we're seeing a large increase in seniors, unfortunately, needing our services, and we don't have an elevator for our second floor. So this would move our financial literacy staff person who does income tax for free, etc., down to the first floor. So that's a small office coming off of the west side of the porch and coming out slightly past the porch. The preschool addition is in the back, 2.78 square feet. It is to add 3 children to our preschool room, meeting the needs of the region's mandate to increase childcare spaces. And then the third one is on the east side. It comes out to meet the porch and is the smallest one at 3. Does that say 3.70.6? That doesn't make any sense. The third one, 70.6 square feet. So there's no new programs added. There's no new staff. It only increases by 3 preschool children during the day in that one space. Next slide. This is really hard to see, but you guys have in your package a picture that kind of shows the front too. And obviously the building is not that long. It's the slide is elongated. These are first floor additions only. And then the back portion is this preschool room, which I think is about 14 feet wide, just to put that on perspective on how big the building looks there. Next slide. So it is an existing property, 2200 Sawgrass. We've been in that location now for 12 years. It's community use zoning, and the front and rear yard additions respect the character of the site and the community, and do not extend outside. They come out to match the extensions on the building existing. Next slide. This is an overview of the lot. Again, the gray shaded areas are the 3 expansions. Next slide. So again, they're one-story additions designed to match the existing building materials and style, scale, height, and massings consisting with the neighborhood, and enhancements were visually seamless from the street. Next slide. There's these are the front two, so the porch across the middle, and they come out to meet the porch. Next slide. This improves our service delivery to the local community by providing first floor accessible space, supports 3 more children in our licensed preschool, enhances staff efficiency in providing programs, and strengthens our role as a vital community hub and service provider. Next slide. So I know there were some community concerns raised by some of our neighbors in terms of cars blocking the laneway. This is a concern that came up about 3 years ago by some of the neighbors, and we dealt with it then. We didn't realize it was an issue. Just heard about it last night. So this morning, staff were out there watching. We didn't have anybody pull up into the laneway. And my window, as well as the supervisor for the childcare's window, both look out over that laneway. So we know in their past there were 2 particular families who were doing that on occasion, who've been spoken to. It's part of our policies that they are not allowed to park in the laneway. I will say that we've had a huge increase in traffic from Post Corners School nearby since the school removed the ability for parents to park in that lot. So we have parents from Post Corners parking all over the community in the laneways in our lot as well. And a lot of traffic there at pickup and drop off time. And a lot of kids walking. Many kids from the school and parents use that laneway as a shortcut to walk to their homes. It's not something we use. Our kids go directly through from the park to the front door. In terms of, and we would very much welcome if the town feels it's appropriate to put up no stopping, no parking signs in that area to ensure safety for our children as well. People mentioned being concerned about the narrow laneway, blind bend, risk of accidents, fear of more disturbance from center activity. We are only adding 3 preschool children. And there's also a misunderstanding in terms of the scale based on the way the letter that went out to residents was addressed, kind of showing that it doubles the building in size. And of course, you can see that it doesn't double the building in size. That relates to the bylaw. And I think I've explained that a little bit on the next slide. I explained it a lot. That's a giant slide. So as I've said, 3 additional childcare spots added. Right, I already said most of this, so I won't repeat it. We weren't aware that there was an issue again, and really want to encourage anybody in the community who's having challenges with any members using our space. Please reach out. We want to be responsive. We are part of the community. Almost all of us live in the community. So certainly want to hear from you when there's something that's you're not happy with, and happy to address them. Laneways are public highways. We can't stop residents from walking on the laneway, but I would argue that the people walking on the laneways, I don't think are from our facility. There are a lot from the school, and Sunningdale School also has a bus stop at the end of that laneway. So kids are picked up at the end of that laneway. It's not an ideal spot for families who attend that school. Noise, I've mentioned. Scale, so those are the numbers. We're not doubling the size of the building. It's about 6% of an increase. The second slide shows you a little bit comparable to a single car garage, small bedroom. One of the rooms is almost a closet, literally, or 2 compact cars. I think, and maybe staff can explain it better because because I don't fully understand it. And I did raise it with staff at the time because it looks like on the letter that it's going from 200 and change to 400 and change. And I think that relates to a catch up in the bylaw, but I could be wording that totally wrong. I think that's the last slide. That's my picture. I think that's the last slide for sure. Oh, okay. So it is a small targeted expansion, meeting requested community need from the region to increase childcare space in our community. There's no change in programming, so there should be no traffic impact, and we are requesting the committee's approval for the variance. And that's it. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Knoll. Sorry, I have to get out of that presentation view every single time. I just want to clarify, and Mr. O'Hare can chime in. You were before us before in 2018, and I think that's when you requested the extra square footage. You went from 242 to 404, but today you're going from the 404 that you previously had to about 427.5 square meters.
That's right.
And that's what it is. And that 23 odd square meters is what you're accounting for today, being those two offices and that extra, I guess, closet space as you identified it. Mr. O'Hare, anything else?
No, that's great through you, Madam Chair. There isn't really a way to vary a variance, so to speak. And so in the bylaw, it's written as that 242 square meters. So although there was a variance approval in June of 2018 to allow the increase in floor area, that isn't within the actual bylaw itself. And so when coming forward for a new variance application, it's at that base level that we're varying once again, even though in this particular situation, it's just an additional 24 square meters that's being added to what is already on site.
Okay, thank you for your clarification. I hope that helps the members of the public. Madam Secretary Treasurer, has anyone raised their hand to speak to this matter?
Madam Chair, I don't have any calls in. I don't see any hands up. If you wanted to speak to this item, please raise your hand now in the meeting.
Okay, very well. While we wait a couple of seconds, are there any questions of Ms. Knoll at this time from the community members? Go ahead, Mr. Dickey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know who to direct this to, the owner or the town planner, but was this a heritage building originally that was expanded back however many years ago, and that's why it's sitting on this lot so tight along the lot lines?
No, it was a builder sales center. It was a temporary built as a temporary structure. It was actually zoned for 4 townhomes, and we purchased the structure. We had been running out of there 1 day a week as a mums and tots program that came out of the community 25 years ago. And so it was already the 2 stories. The 2-story had never been finished. And so our first venture to the committee was to finish a little section on the 2nd floor. The next was to finish a little portion on the other side of the 2nd floor. And this one is more for the front. So never a heritage building. I wish it had been. I would have loved that, but no.
Second question, if I may, and maybe if the Secretary Treasurer could bring up that site plan, just to get an understanding of where the pipeline right of way is in your south property line. It's your property has an easement, a pipeline easement across the south part of it. I guess that's it. It's just a little bit confusing when that site plan about 7 meters from the edge of the pipeline. That was a little bit confusing. Not the
And I'm probably not the best person
Oh.
to answer it because I've talked to all the great people at Enbridge and Trans-Canada Pipeline, and I don't fully understand it, but I do understand the letter they both provided that says they're fine with us proceeding.
Okay, so it's that strip where all the parking spaces are along the south sides. That's on the pipeline easement. And
That's
that's
right.
what that red line. Okay, that was a little confusing.
Yeah, and those have always been there. Well, since the developer had those there as well.
Yeah. Okay, it was just a
So,
little
yeah.
confusing there. And I might just make a point, because obviously some of your neighbors were confused about thinking that your existing building was whatever size and it was being doubled. I've said this to other consultants, and I mentioned it to you, although you're representing the owner in a more direct way. I think it's very helpful if back when you submitted a little letter just describing the situation and bringing forth that you're only adding 2,400 square feet, because as you probably see, obviously some of the neighbors have thought you're doubling the size of that building, and it is pretty complicated for someone else to read and understand. So you've had a few neighbors objecting for reason they were mostly objecting for the parking reason, which you discussed. But just not to think that you'll ever have to come back to us again. But
I'll be retired before there's any more expansion. You know what, Stuart, I'm just thinking too, because I'm not sure if everybody's aware where the laneway is. So that very west portion there of the property, that's where the laneway comes down and then goes west towards the strip of houses that are there as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? I see none. Has anyone called, Madam Secretary Treasurer, or raised their hand?
Madam Chair, we do have one hand up.
Okay.
I can move them in. One moment.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, yes, I was just, I'm one of the ones who's closest, and I'm one of the ones who does get impacted when people park in the laneway. I just wanted to say that occasionally it does happen. It may not have happened when you checked this morning or whatever, but I know just last week, actually, there was a couple of cars parked here. I wasn't able to get into my driveway. I honked because there was nobody in the car. I honked a second time. Somebody did come out, and I got a telling off for honking. So, it does occasionally still happen.
You know what, Vanessa? We were closed last week.
I don't know who it was. I know
we closed. We're closed the last week of August. We closed the entire building. We shut down the entire building. We don't even run programs.
Today is what? No, it was late. Yeah, there was two people, but they definitely walked towards that building, and that's where he came out of. So I don't know who it was. I can't tell you who it was. It didn't look like a parent, but it was somebody who just stopped right here in front of the driveway, and I was unable to get in. And the beauty of it is getting told off because I honked for the car to move.
Of course, yeah, that must have been frustrating.
So that I'm just saying that, it does occasionally still happen. And that's, you have to think about it from, if this was an emergency and I was trying to get out of my driveway, I would not have been able to. And that's where the concern arises. I know that they don't stop here for the whole day, but in an emergency, if you had to leave, you can't. Or in this case, I had to sit and wait in my car and then get told off before I was able to park, which is unfortunate. I did bring up to the town before, actually, the concern about the bend in the laneway here. It is very difficult to see oncoming traffic or pedestrians there. I had asked the town, in fact, if they would put a mirror up on the light standard that's right at that bend so that we can have visibility to cars coming. And I was told that the town doesn't do that. So that is still a concern. It's just unfortunately the way the lane is built. It's quite a sharp bend and you really can't see traffic coming. So I worry when I see kids around. I don't want anybody to get run over. That's more of a safety, you know. I know I go by very slowly because I know I can't see, but some people do zip through the laneway. They use it as a shortcut or something, and it is a safety concern.
Yeah.
So that's really what I wanted to bring forward.
Thank you for sharing. Mr. O'Hare, there has to be some way where, I mean, this is a community center, so they could notify the town to either put up no stopping signs or have officers come more frequently and provide tickets.
Yeah, through you three, Madam Chair, absolutely. Ms. Knoll, I can provide you with our Municipal Enforcement Services management number to get a contact to have traffic officers out during peak times, even off-peak times to do traffic enforcement blitzes in the area. I know that's something the town has done before in certain problematic spots. So depending on your relationship with Municipal Enforcement Services, I'm more than happy to provide you with a contact in management there to see if that might be something that can be done on a regular occasion to ensure people are not illegally parking on the laneway or on the street or blocking access to people's driveways. In addition to the no stopping or no parking signage, that is dealt through our traffic engineering department. So a request also can be made as Ms. Ferrugia did for a mirror on the light standard. A request can be made. It's not a guarantee that our roads and works department will in fact put a sign up there in this lane if there's not one already, and they might have to do a study or look into it further. But that is also a possibility to that I can provide that information as well to you, Ms. Knoll, if that was something that you know, residents and neighbors nearby were concerned about. So you can make that request. There's no guarantee about it, but I'm more than happy to provide you with information for both of those.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions of the applicant? Go ahead, Mr. Talowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a comment further to Mr. O'Hare's comment. There appears there is a sign that says no parking in the lanes, but it's at the very far end of the lane and it's only at the one end. It's not at the second end, and there's no signage saying you can't park or stop in the location where people would actually be parking and stopping. So I think, Ms. Knoll, that would be, I think, a valid request to make to Public Works that there's already a sign up there and it's got a bylaw number. I think there just needs to be more of them placed.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. Any other comments? Has anyone else called with interest, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
No, Madam Chair, there are no calls and no one has their hand up.
Okay, very well. Then we'll take the matter into committee. Who would like to move a motion? Go ahead, Ms. Price. You are muted.
Sure.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Once again, taking into account the observations of my site visit, the submissions of the agent, Trans Canada Pipeline, and staff, as well as letters of opposition, I am of the opinion that the requested variances are minor in nature and are in keeping with the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw, and are desirable for the appropriate development of the land. In conclusion, I recommend the application be approved subject to the following conditions. The additions be constructed in general accordance with the submitted site plan and elevation drawings dated August 11, 2025, and that the approval expires 2 years from the date of the decision if a building permit has not been issued for the proposed construction.
Thank you, Ms. Price. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? I see none. All those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed. Have a good evening. And please do look into all
The
those
signs.
requests. Yeah.
Will do.
And
Thank you so much for your input.
this was the last item on our agenda this evening. We have minutes for August the 20th to confirm. Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. The minutes are confirmed. And then motion to adjourn. Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. We are adjourned at 7:45.